find editing for myself the most fun. So like when I just recently ended those 40 something reels, I took my time and like I made them like good. Not to say I don't take my time and make client work good. That
You're a
sounds
fast
so
editor.
bad. Secretly, I have reasons, but I can't say it on the mic. So I'll have to tell you later.
Thanks for watching. Bye. I'm just kidding. How do we start this like casually as a conversation? So Nick, do you need to be a one-stop shop? What do you think about the current economy and climate of the videography and photography industry? I feel like the creative industry has changed so much, even in just the last 4 years of me being a business owner.
Definitely has. Yeah.
So much.
I hate this that I'm about to say this, but not to be like one with the trends. But I know this whole thing of like 2026 is like 2016 or whatever. It's like going around.
Yep.
And to relate to that, I miss the 2016 days of like the creative world.
Yep.
Life was so much simpler back then.
So much simpler.
You literally, it was two choices. You were either a videographer or a photographer, and you can make money just by making content. Plain and simple. It is not plain and simple anymore.
Nope.
And just being a videographer or just being a photographer is not enough.
No. You have to talk about like evolving with the times, and that's so redundant and so corny, but there are examples of like previous companies that I worked for. You can tell they're not evolving, they're not changing. And, you know, with this digital world, with AI, with all of the technology we have at our disposal, there's so much you can do. And I find myself getting overwhelmed at the sheer number of options of just things that you can do and all these different things that people want. Wedding industry alone, there's now content creators, people who go in with their phones and film weddings, and couples are choosing that over professional video. And it's like, where does it end? Like I considered a few months ago adding content creation to my videography package.
Yeah, I would never do that.
Like, I don't know. It's so confusing. And like, how do you choose what direction to go in as a creative person?
I think there's a couple things you could. I think the first and foremost is what you like to do.
Right.
And then the second thing is what you're good at. Mm-hmm. Those can be interchangeable. But I think, like personally, I would never offer content creation as a service because I don't like to do that, nor would I be good at it. Probably. I don't know. Never done it.
You could easily do it. Any of us could do it. We have the skills.
It's anyone who can hold a phone has a skill.
Like a 10-year-old could do it. It's true.
But it's like, I'm not going to do that because I know I'm good at one thing, and that's creating high quality, like cinematic and professional storytelling wedding films. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to keep doing that.
Right.
And that's one thing that I know I can like put my foot down and not bend and like change with the times because it's like forcing me to. Mm-hmm. But there are other things that, you know, we do have to adapt and change. Like I was saying at the beginning, it's like being a photographer, being a videographer is not enough anymore. You can't just go create content and make money off that. You need to now, you know, be the content strategist. You have to help them figure out like how to use this properly. And you can't just make random videos. You have to make videos that are actually going to perform because everything is now results driven. If your content's not getting them the result they want, whatever that may be, there's no point in working with you. It's going to waste their money and waste your time. Mm-hmm. And now you have to be able to, you know, create content, be a videographer, photographer, know how to run ads, know how to manage social media accounts, know how to just do all things marketing.
Edit.
And I think it's not quite here yet, but I do think it's going in that direction in the sense of like, for all these media agencies, production companies, whatever, you have to start being able to offer kind of everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I a lot of me hopes that it doesn't go that way, because I post on social media for a few clients, like a handful of clients who I've been with for years now, like since the beginning of starting my business. But I have no desire to become a person who has like 8 Instagram accounts that they have to post for. And I don't want anything to have to do with meta ads, because it's so confusing to me. And I'm like very baseline skilled at editing. Like I can edit videos and edit photos, but I don't want to be diving into After Effects to create graphics and animations and
Well,
stuff.
that's why I think building a team is the key part. It's like you need to just bring people on that are good at those things.
Yeah, but do you think that there's a way that we can stay doing what we're doing and just have a handful of vendors and people that you trust in your network to kind of outsource stuff to? Because that's kind of what I do now.
I honestly don't know. Like, as much as I want to say, yes, that's fine, because I would rather that as well. Because as a person who, as we've said in some previous episodes, like we just had with Aiden, our guests, like my personal specialty is the actual production. Like, I'm good at being a camera operator, specifically with video. I can shoot photos, but video specifically, and producing and kind of organizing and managing that type of stuff, which is only, unfortunately, a very small fraction of the puzzle. There are so many other pieces that I still do. I'm not necessarily the best person to be doing it. I can do them at a proficient enough level, but one, there are people that are way better than me at all those other things. It wastes my time because I don't like to do it. So it's like my attitude towards doing them is not very positive, which can make the actual work suffer. But also it's like down the road, I don't know. Like it might just be, we need to be able to do all these things because people are just going to be wanting more and more. Do I hope I'm wrong? Yes. Like I hope that we can just stay doing kind of what we're doing. But then it's similar to like AI. It's like I was somewhat stubborn and pushed back at it at the beginning stages of it because I, wanted to stay try and true to my authentic like production skills and wanted to make things in real life rather than like generate videos through AI, which is still not there yet, but it's getting there. And it's like now I'm way more open to AI and like using it for a lot of other things, not content generation per se, but a lot of other things. So it's kind of like that. At first I was very reluctant towards AI. Now I accept it. Is this going to be another one of those things where I'm right now very reluctant and giving a lot of pushback towards, but will I eventually just accept it and do it? Maybe. I don't know.
One of the hardest things that I've found in the creative industry is that we all want to make it on our own, especially for photographers and videographers. When I was working for a media agency before, it was really hard to retain people because, you get the skills and then you want to move on and start your own thing. And I get that. But, I think the next step for me is to add a second shooter to my team who can help me go on these shoots. I don't think I'm there yet, but I find that really challenging because we're all in our own lane doing our own thing. So how do you find someone who's willing to come on board with your team and help you grow and help you be successful? And like,
it's hard.
It's your business, but they're a part of that. Like a lot of people would prefer to start their own thing and be a successful business owner themselves.
That's true. And so it's very hard to find someone. They exist. Like there's definitely people who are just good at operating a camera and they don't want to be a business owner person. They're just few and far between.
Right.
And especially the good ones, because usually the good ones are more entrepreneurial minded.
Right.
But they exist. And I'm going to say something publicly that I've never thought before, but as of recently, I'm beginning to change my mind. I'm more open now than I ever have been of not being a business owner. Like at first for years, I've always just been like, no, for sure. I want to be the one in charge. I want to be my own business owner and like run my own thing. As of very, very recently, as in like the last week or so, I began to think what it would look like if I was to say like join someone else and not be the one necessarily in charge.
Wow.
I don't know why I've been thinking about it, but it's crossed my mind.
See, I don't know if I could ever go back.
So I would never go back to being a drone if I was ever, and this is a big hypothetical world here. If I was ever to hypothetically do that, I would need to go to a place where I'm not the owner and I'm not in charge, but I have a leadership role.
Yeah.
But I'm not, everything doesn't fall on me.
There are a couple companies out there in like kind of the local New England area who I look at their stuff and I'm like, it would be amazing to be a part of that team because of the awesome stuff they do. I'll just say it, like Tandem in Rhode Island.
They're good.
Their work is amazing. They just did a video recently for a place in Newport and I was like, wow, to be a fly on the wall and be a part of that production would be so cool. But also, you know, managing people is really hard. So like if you have a team,
I feel like I'd be able, I feel like that's one skill I have.
It's just like, it's hard. Like I had a team under me at my last job and managing all of people's personalities and making sure they have their needs met. I wasn't the boss, but I was kind of like a team leader in a way.
Right.
And especially if you don't really have like the support and the culture in the company, it's really hard. And, you know, being the business owner, like that is one of the struggles. If you have a team under you, is like making sure you are meeting people's needs, but also that they are doing the job that you need them to do. And when you cross like friendships with that as well, that adds another layer of complication. So, you know, it is really hard to be in that leadership role.
Yeah, no, it is. I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, man. No, but it's like, it's the constant tug of, do you want to own it and be the person behind everything and the creative and, you know, all the administrative stuff that comes with it, and then maybe managing a team and also like managing editors and doing all the things? Or do you want to just be part of a cool thing and like be able to say, oh, I'm a part of a really cool team and like work towards a common goal?
Yeah, like the latter of that like has never been what I wanted per se, but like I would always prefer it to be my own thing. Like it's just, it feels better for me personally when I'm building something that's mine.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like part of me is like, there are so many things I'm doing now that I don't want to be doing.
Yeah.
And if I was just say like, and this is the bullshit title, but like a creative director for some other business, then I would only be doing what I actually want to be doing / what I'm actually good at. Mm-hmm. But then it's like, okay, how much would I miss from, you know, being the one actually in charge? Because there is, I think I'd take it for granted, like how free it is for me to just make whatever decision I want to make. Mm-hmm. Like, I think I don't realize how much freedom I have when I make those decisions.
There's a lot of pros to being your own boss. And there's also a lot of negatives.
Switched gears from our initial thing we were talking about 5 minutes ago, but this topic is still good too.
Yeah. I don't know how do we get here? What is it? What are we talking about?
We were talking about like become like how just being a videographer is not enough.
Yeah.
And, like,
I mean, but
it's encompassing marketing.
Still along with that, on those lines of, as a business owner, you have to be everything, especially a small business. And like, I'm not in a position right now where I can grow the team. Like I just hired a couple editors and that's already like, it's a lot of responsibility because even though they're only part-time and they're not like contracted under me, they're not my employees, it's still money that I originally did not account for before. Like I was editing everything myself pretty much. aside from, you know, a few projects from a previous editor I was working with. But it's like, do you grow the team or do you continue to do everything yourself? And a lot of other aspects in your life can suffer from that too.
Yeah, like, I mean, I've talked about it before and he's been on this podcast, but like Luke is not an employee, and he's also not like an owner, yet it's a very official thing we have going here. It's very unspoken, unwritten. But I essentially treat him as pretty much an equal and we make decisions together. Mm-hmm. If something was to come up where like a final say needed to happen, obviously it would come down to me, but that doesn't really happen. So like having someone like that has been great. And he's helped with delegating tasks that I'm not going to say I give him stuff I don't want to do. Sometimes I do, but then there's things that he's better at than me. That has helped a lot. Or just simple, just splitting up things for efficiency's sake. Like that's helped a lot as well.
Even the simple thing of having another shooter, if you, God forbid, get sick or you're not able to go somewhere, you have someone that you trust that you can rely on who will be available. Like that's huge.
I mean, yes, but I think that's one of like the, I don't know, weaker arguments because just because I work with him a lot, the same would go for like you, Sam, and Alex, and all those people. Like I would hire you guys if I was sick as well.
Right. But less guarantee that we'd be available because we have our own thing.
That's very true. Very true.
So yeah, I don't know. Like I think easy, like I guess creative add-ons. I don't even know what to call it, but like people to add to the team. I think the first thing is an editor, right? You get that nailed down. I think that makes,
at first I wasn't sure, but I think that does make the most sense.
Yeah. Just to free up a little bit of time. Then maybe you add an admin person to your team to help you manage and onboard clients, take emails, take calls, stuff like that. You know, even back end stuff like invoicing and taking care of all of that, contracts, things like that. Then you could add
like that. Like it's honestly the businessy type stuff that I hate doing.
Yeah, it's brutal. It is brutal. And then you think about, okay, maybe I add a website person who designs websites, or maybe I hire someone who can do marketing and run ads for clients and things like that. Like that's, I think, something that's missing for me is running ads for things, because you deliver photos and videos to clients, and then, you know, they might not necessarily know what to do with those things. So like you can make suggestions as the videographer, like, hey, you should use this for XYZ. But whether or not they implement those, the client implements those things, is up to them. So to have someone who could like run the ads for them would be a huge value add.
I mean, to an extent, it's not your fault. I mean, there should be like before you even start shooting it, it's like you should know what you're shooting it for.
Right.
If it's for an ad, it's for an ad. If it's for organic social, it's a different story. Mm-hmm. But yeah, if it's going to be an ad, they better be using it for an ad, or there's no point in doing it.
Yeah.
But I think it's outsourceable. Mm-hmm. Like I would just send it to Alex personally.
Right. 100%. Yeah.
Because I don't think I want to learn. Like, but this goes back. Okay, this ties it back into the original topic here. I technically probably should learn, because like I was saying, it's probably going in the direction of like, you know, people want a company that can do everything. And sure, it would be easier if I just said, yeah, I can do it. Is it still easy to say I can do it and then outsource it to someone? Yes, there's just kind of one extra step, but it's still doable. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I guess I don't have to learn it if I can fairly easily outsource it.
Yeah. I think I'm going to stick with that and run with that as long as I can. I'm very much a person that's going to stay in their lane and do not only what I like to do, but what I'm good at for as long as I can. And if it really gets to the point where I feel like it's necessary to add someone who will do marketing or, you know, do websites, I'll do it. But I am very reluctant to dive into like building a team just for the sake of being a one-stop shop. Just because.
What about for just like being able to do more volume though?
Yeah, I would just,
like,
I would add
can't be
another
everywhere all
shooter.
at once, yeah.
Yeah, I would add another shooter first so I could do multiple shoots in one day and not have it all just be me. That would be my first step. But I'm staying away from web design. I'm staying away from ads for now.
Is there something you don't want to be doing? Like, I know some people, they are going to hire people so they don't have to go shooting all the time. They will just send people to shoot and they will just pretty much be on the computer doing sales calls all day. Whereas when we talked to our recent guest, Aiden, he was saying that he's more of the production person. He would pretty much never give that up. Do you have something like that? Do you want to be shooting forever? Or not forever, but like, is that one thing you don't really want to give up? Or would you like hire a team so then you could send your videographers out so you just don't have to anymore?
I think the most recent change that I made by hiring a couple editors really has already, they've only been really doing work for me for like a month, but hiring my editors has been the game-changing decision that I needed to get me doing less time at the computer so that I can free up more time to do other stuff. Right now, actually, another thing I just did was I hired a bookkeeper to help me. So not only now do I have an accountant, I have a bookkeeper who, you know, I worked with, you know, for the end of 2025. You know, she's helping me clean all that up so I don't have to go in and like mark every transaction and do all of those things in QuickBooks and do that stuff.
That does suck.
Yeah. So that's freeing up a lot of time too.
God, that's awful.
And then going forward, I'm going to work with her quarterly so that we don't have to do like the mad dash at the end of the year to like do all that at once. So that is another way I freed up my time in addition to the editors. But I don't ever want to give up shooting, at least not right now.
Okay, so editing was the thing that you would be giving up.
Editing was the thing. And shooting, like that's the thing that I love the most about the job is like going out and meeting people and like creating something specifically for them and for their business or their brand that will help them reach their goals. I love talking to people. I used to be like, I think a pretty shy person. And then I went to college and like, you know, got out of my shell. And now I love interacting with people. So that part I don't ever want to give up. That's the part that I like the most. But I did want to spend less time at a computer editing and be able to spend more time on the other parts of the business, like doing my rebrand, updating my website, and trying to come up with other, I don't want to say tactics, but kind of, you know, tactics to get newer clients. And so far, that's working out pretty well. I already have way more time on my, you know, the time I was spending editing was like ridiculous. It was astronomical. So that has helped me a lot.
Yeah, that's like, this is the weird thing. I totally think that the editor should be the first hire, but I'm not going to say I'm the best editor. We have said this in the past. I'm definitely not. And it's not my, you know, best skill, but I think I'm a fast editor. So like time wise, yes, it's obviously going to save me time, but it's not necessarily going to save me the amount of time that it might save you. So would it still be beneficial? Of course. But I probably wouldn't feel the difference as dramatically as you would.
Yeah, that makes sense. I also just don't love editing in general. Like there are some things that I really have fun with editing. Like I don't mind doing wedding videos.
I found it that I have very few things that I actually have fun editing now, which is not good.
I think it's just because we do it all the time, you know? So that for me was like the no-brainer. The first thing to go was editing. Like I don't mind giving that
editing
up.
for myself the most fun.
Yeah,
which I always have. That's why I used to do YouTube because like editing those was fun.
Yeah.
So like when I just recently ended those 40 something reels, I took my time and like I made them like good. Not to say I don't take my time and make client work good.
You're a fast editor. No, but it is different. It hits different when you enjoy the project that you're editing. It really does. Yeah. No, for right now, I'm staying in my lane. I'm doing what I do best, what I enjoy the most, because, you know, in 2025, when I was like peak busy season, my personal life really suffered. It really suffered. So this year is the year that I like try to take a step back from doing everything myself and delegate and relinquish control in certain areas. Like that's the other hard thing is relinquishing control and trusting someone else to do what you do.
I've gotten better.
Hard.
Still not great, but I've definitely improved. Like,
Yeah, it's
believe me,
tough.
I was probably one of the worst people ever at it.
It's
but
rough.
I've gotten better.
Yeah.
Like the whole like done is better than perfect mentality has been kind of a cheesy saying, but like it's legit.
It's
and
true.
it's something I just had to accept.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would see something that, and I'm not saying Luke's a bad ender, but it's just like he did things in a way I wouldn't have done. I'm not gonna say it's worse or better. It's just different than what I would do. And I would comment like, I would have done this. I probably wouldn't have done that. Probably wouldn't have done this. And he could change it if he wants to. If I did, I would never make him change it because it's good enough.
Yep.
And it was up. I would give him comments, and it would be up to him if he wants to change it or not.
Yeah.
Half the time he would, half the time he doesn't, and that's fine because the client can't
Isn't
tell.
going to notice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as it's good enough for the client, that's kind of what it has to be.
Right.
And that's where kind of like we grew to be more efficient. Like, not that we don't take our time, but we were almost taking too much time. And it would be like, we just got to move on.
Right.
So I think that helped us to be a little less serious about every single thing we did because we would take every micro decision way too seriously.
Yep. I get it. I was doing the same thing. That, I think editing wise, that was probably what was taking me so much time, was like trying to be perfect and like moving little things around and trying to make it like absolutely perfect.
When I edit, it's like muscle memory. Like I almost just go into like a trance. It's like my fingers and my movements are just like automatic. I do pretty much the same thing every single time. So I don't know. It feels weird. I like forget that I'm doing it when I'm doing it because it just kind of all feels the same.
Yeah. But like one of my biggest pet peeves is not paying attention to detail. And I very much pay attention to detail. Like there was one project I had a previous editor work on, and like there were a bunch of mistakes, and like and one section of like one whole round of videos, the sound was muted on all of them. And thankfully I like had the wherewithal to check, and I was like, is there something wrong with my computer? Like, what's going on? All the videos were muted. I'm like, how do you
miss that?
It was just like one of those things like, oh my God, because I had uploaded them to the folder and shared them with the client, and I quickly deleted them as I was like, I'd listened to the first one and I realized they were all muted, and I was like, holy shit, like that's a big fuck up, and that looks bad to a client, and that could make or break their decision to hire you again for something else if you make little mistakes like that.
Right.
So my attention to detail when I edit is very thorough. And that's why it's hard for me to relinquish control.
That's fair.
It's a lot. It's a lot. You wear a lot of hats when you're a business owner.
Yeah.
But I think the pros outweigh the cons. I really do.
I think so. But again, I've never felt that way before. When I said like,
I'm shocked that you just said that.
The fact that I'm open to it
It's
is
just
like
a phase.
crazy.
It's just a phase, Mom.
Ask me again in like 4 months.
Yeah. I don't think it'll last long.
I don't know.
It's too fun.
Okay, I'm going to secretly I have reasons, but I can't say it on the mic. So I'll have to tell you later.
Thanks for watching. Bye. Just kidding. Just kidding. No, I get it though. Like it's lonely. It's, you know, the lows that you hit are really, really tough. And I'm sure I haven't even come close to hitting the lowest of lows. There's going to be moments where you're like, I'm not making any money. Like I have a savings account where I put money away in the event that shit goes sideways in the world. There's another fucking global pandemic. God forbid, please. No.
Yeah.
But like, it's true. And even in times right now, like people don't have a lot of money to be spending. Like it's expensive to be alive right now. The average homeowner age is like 40, which is insane. So like people are not making enough money to like even live a normal life, let alone splurging, like go on vacations and go on date nights. And like times are tough, and I'm lucky enough where I have a fiance and a partner who not only like, you know, he has a steady salary, but if one of our incomes were to go away, like we'd be in a bad position. Like we'd struggle. So that's why, like, you know, the risk that you take when you're a business owner and you're doing all these things by yourself, like it is a risk. It's a huge risk. And if I were to fail, like, I don't really know what I would do. Like that, I think about that a lot sometimes. Like even recently, I'm like, so if I come to a point where I'm not making money doing photo or video anymore, like what's my backup? I don't have a backup plan.
For me, there is no backup plan.
I agree.
But like in the sense of I will not allow myself to fail.
I'm right there with you. With you.
There could be a long stretch of me not making any money, but I will eventually find a way to fix it. Mm-hmm. I would never just give up.
Yeah.
Because there is nothing else I would want to be doing.
Same. See? We already took that right out of your brain.
Well, that's a little different. Like, I don't know how to explain it.
That's the other thing too with working for someone. Like when I was working for a media agency, I was not making that much money.
So that's one thing.
Pay that well.
I didn't say that, but
it doesn't pay that well.
That is definitely a thing. Like
Truly.
I wouldn't make as much.
No, hell no. And that's something that you have to consider is like if you go and work for someone else, are you going to make as much money? But I also feel like there are two types of creative people. Like we kind of talked about earlier. Are you the person who has a little bit of that, enough of that entrepreneurial mindset to be able to run the business and be the creative person, or at least be able to build a team? Or are you the person who's more of the back seat, like you said, more of the camera op, who just wants to like be the person who's shooting, is fine with working under a team? I think some people truly don't have what it takes to run the business themselves. And then you just go work for someone and it's fine. But just know you're probably not going to make as much money as you could if you go on your own and you succeed in that direction.
Yeah.
It's true.
For sure. There's a ceiling.
Yeah.
And then when you're on your own, running your own thing, sky's the limit. You can make millions.
Exactly. That's the goal.
That is the goal.
Doesn't everyone want to be a millionaire? Wouldn't that be nice?
Retire by 40.
Ugh.
Okay, yeah. That one kind of got away from us, but I think it was still good.
It was a little vent session. A little panic session in this economy. Yeah, thanks for watching and listening. And if there's any other topics that you want us to cover, shoot us a message, shoot us a DM. We have a link in our bio, an anonymous link. So feel free to reach out and subscribe and follow us. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.